Good morning, everyone. We have reached 8:30. I'm going to call us to order for our regular council meeting of April. If you would please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Our first item of business is our auditor's financial report.
Started the year with a beginning net balance of $5,074,770. So far, you've granted appropriations of $8,557. We've had no miscellaneous expenditures, leaving $5,066,213 available for appropriation. And you have requests today for the general fund of $38,644. On the revenue report, just a couple of things to point out here. Under intergovernmental, we did receive Dayton's tax payment, or not tax payment, I'm sorry, the municipal election reimbursement. So all of those are accounted for. May have had one other item. Overall, most things are tracking at or above the 25% where we would expect for a quarter way through the year. So we're sitting at 26.6% if we don't include the property tax distributions, which would be later June and December. On the fund balance report, just had one question to point out. I noticed that Fund 4718, the county's self-insured workers' compensation fund, is tracking growing, and I didn't know if there was any, this would be like an off conversation that we could have, but didn't know if there was a target balance for that fund or not. So just wanted to point that out. And that was all I had.
Any questions for Jennifer? Hearing none, we'll move on to the treasurer's report.
Good morning. We ended the month of March with an account balance of $171,005,762.43, with an interest of $570,302.29. The average interest rate for the month of March was 5.59%. With 25% of the year lapsed, the general fund is sitting at a year-to-date total of $1,051,006.79, receiving about 57.5% of total interest. And yes, the rate is still staying steady.
Okay, any questions? Hearing none. Are there any public comment for us about any agenda items on our agenda for this morning? Moving on to the consent agenda, are there any items that need to be removed for further discussion or consideration off of the consent agenda? If not, I'll take a motion to approve as presented.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
I have a motion on the floor from Councilman Murray, a second from Councilman Richard, to approve the consent agenda, which includes our minutes from our March meeting. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? That is approved. Next, we have additional appropriations, first from the public defender.
I move we approve the salary statement for the public defender as presented.
Second.
I have a motion on the floor from Councilwoman Dolam, a second from Councilwoman Hamilton, to approve the salary statement for the public defender in the amount of $68,026. Discussion. Good morning.
What we did is I have people
Turn the mic on.
I have people interested in part-time positions, not full-time, so we split a full-time position, and this is a salary statement just so we can staff those positions.
Any questions or discussion from council? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, that is approved.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Q Bridge Fund appropriation.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the cumulative bridge fund 1135 appropriation, bridges for $50,000, culverts and drains $600,000. Total requested would be $650,000.
Second.
I have a motion on the floor from Councilman Richard, a second from Councilman Murray to approve the Cume Bridge Fund 1135 appropriation in the total amount of $650,000. Discussion.
Good morning. I am not Stu Klein. Stu has to be he's at a conference today. But before we get started, I do want to introduce our new Assistant Executive Director of the Highway Department, Doug Payne. So Doug joined us about a month ago. He had a few weeks to spend with Mike, and he's getting started. He's doing a great job for us. So next time Stu's absent, he'll be here instead of me. All right. This is an appropriation for the match for the state CCMG program for 2 bridges and 1 large culvert. We'll be glad to answer any questions if you have any more.
Any questions? Comments? Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? That is approved. Next, we have Fund 9108.
I make a motion to approve the Community Crossing Fund 9108 grant appropriation, bridges for 219,709, culverts and drains 256,192, total $475,901.
Second.
I have a motion on the floor from Councilman Richard, a second from Councilman Murray to approve the Community Crossings Fund 9108 appropriation in the amount of $475,901. Discussion.
So this is the grant funding from Community Crossings that that goes with the match that we just did previously.
Okay, any questions or discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, that is approved. Next, we have Local Road and Street.
I'd like to make a motion to approve Local Road and Street Fund 1169 appropriation, operating supplies, garages, and fleet $56,000, repairs and maintenance, vehicle equipment $6,000, machinery and equipment general $200,000 for a total of $262,000.
Second.
I have a motion on the floor from Councilman Richard, a second from Councilman Murray, to approve the Local Road and Street 1169 appropriation in the total amount of $262,000. Discussion.
The first line item includes parts for the paint truck. There were significant unexpected repairs on that item. The second includes outsourced paint truck work. And the third item is for the purchase of a used sign truck and then a buyout of the loader lease.
Okay, questions or discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, that is approved. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have Juvenile Alternatives appropriation.
Make a motion, we approve the Juvenile Alternative Truancy Mediation Fund 9203 appropriation in the amount of $21,306.
Second.
I have a motion on the floor from Councilman Murray, a second from Councilwoman Hamilton to approve the Juvenile Alternatives Truancy Mediation Fund 9203 appropriation in the amount of $21,306. Discussion.
I am not Rebecca Humphrey. We're all going to come up here and deny who we are.
Yes.
I am not Rebecca Humphrey. I'm Linda Tedder. This fund is supposed to pay for a truancy mediation coordinator. Our juvenile community corrections cycle runs July to June. At the time that we appropriated our grant and our user fees, we did not appropriate this fund because we knew that there were some changes coming down the pike because of House Bill 1359 and that there would be legislative changes having to do with diversion. And so the person who typically had been paid from this, a portion had been paid from this fund, switched into a different role. And we weren't sure what was going to be happening, so we chose not to appropriate at that time. We're coming today to appropriate as was approved through Department of Corrections because of the next agenda item that you're going to see.
Okay. Any questions for Linda on that? Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? That is approved. Next, we have a transfer in Fund 9203.
Make a motion, we approve the Juvenile Alternative Truancy Mediation Fund 9203 transfer in the amount of $7,500.
Second.
I have a motion on the floor from Councilman Murray, a second from Councilwoman Hamilton, to approve the Truancy Mediation Fund 9203 transfer in the amount of $7,500. Discussion.
So we are looking to obviously transfer from that position that we have not filled and don't have a need for right now, and that is to pay part of a vehicle, which we have grant funding of over $19,000 and a DOC performance grant, and we just found when we went out looking in the automotive market that was not going to buy us what we needed. So additional funding is needed to purchase this vehicle, and the function of the vehicle is to pick up program participants so there's not a barrier of transportation so that they're getting the services that they need.
Okay, any questions or discussion from council? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? That is approved.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have the Health Department Fund 4118 appropriation.
Make a motion, we approve the Health Department Donation Fund 4118 appropriation in the amount of $4,575.
Second.
I have a motion on the floor from Councilman Murray, a second from Councilwoman Hamilton, to approve the Health Department Donation Fund 4118 appropriation in the amount of $4,575. Discussion.
I'm not Stacy either. She has a meeting this morning, so I'm here. This is our donation fund, and we're just appropriating it because we have a community baby shower that our FEMA team puts on, so we're going to be using that in May. These are leftover funds from last year.
Okay, any questions or discussion from council? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? That is approved. Thank you. Next, we have donation fund for the sheriff, 4127.
I'll make a motion that we approve the donation fund 4127 appropriation totaling $4,000.
Second.
I have a motion on the floor from Councilwoman Vernon, a second from Councilwoman Hamilton, to approve the sheriff donation fund 4127 appropriation in the amount of $4,000. Discussion.
I'm actually Bob,
the
the real person.
Actually, the real one.
Good morning. Yeah, this is a fund we set up years ago. A lot of people will donate to our department to pay for our canines, get them vests and such, but this is going to go for their vet bills and food.
Okay. Any questions or discussion from council? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? That is approved.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have general fund appropriation for the commissioners.
I'll make a motion that we approve the general fund appropriation as requested.
Second.
I have a motion on the floor from Councilwoman Vernon, a second from Councilwoman Hamilton, to approve the general fund appropriation for the commissioners line item in the total amount of $38,644. Discussion.
This is a brand-new position for an HR coordinator, full-time position in our office. This position will alleviate some customer service and back-end detail that I frequently take on at the moment. So some of my duties will shift to Ashley, and then Ashley's duties, in a sense, will shift onto this position, which will allow me to be out more, creating policy, assisting department heads, putting out fires, investigations, matters of that.
Okay. Any questions or discussion from council? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? That is approved. Next, we have the salary statement for that position.
I'll make a motion that we approve the salary statement for the HR coordinator full-time in the amount of $43,354.
Second.
I have a motion on the floor from Councilwoman Vernon, second from Councilwoman Hamilton, to approve the salary statement for the HR coordinator in the amount of $43,354. Any further discussion?
No.
Any questions or discussion from council? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? That is approved.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any committee reports to come before us this morning? Any unfinished business? New business? Commissioner FYI.
Sorry, that came quick. We do not have much. Just want to announce that Jennifer and Yadira and Sadie are working on a employee appreciation event that will take place on the rooftop of the garage on May 16th. So more information to come on that, and hope to see you there.
Thank you. Any public comment to come before us this morning? Next meeting, May 14th. If there's nothing else, I'll take the last motion.
Make a motion to adjourn?
We are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.